I am a man of honor, integrity, and promise. I pursue all righteousness. I love my family. I will not put my family in harm's way. There is nothing that will keep me from doing the right thing. I am an ambassador of hope and a man of discipline. I am a man worth following. I am a TYRO.
Hi everyone, welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Kathy TYRO. And for those of you that don't know who we are, Ron spent 15 years in prison while I raised our two sons on the outside. And through that journey, we learned to become a stronger, healthier, thriving family. And the secrets we learned during that journey are things that we want to share with you to help you become stronger and better every day.
You know, when I was incarcerated, a lot of men would ask me, Ron, what are you doing that keeps your wife engaged in having a relationship with you? You get visits all the time. What are you doing, man? What are your secrets? Well, you know what? We figured it out. The first principle of our book, High Five, Love Never Fails, friendship. We became friends because prior to going to prison, we were not friends.
So we want to spend the next few minutes with you, and actually the next few shows with you, really breaking down those 5 principles, those 5 secrets to developing healthy, strong relationships, even in spite of the distance that you may be enduring during this incarceration. And so if you remember from the last show, we have 5 principles, which are friendship, faithfulness, forgiveness, fairness, and fortitude. And this week, we really want to concentrate on friendship.
So let's talk first about what a friend is not.
All right.
I think those are really easy to hit. A friend isn't one who uses people, right? And so I think every one of us that found ourselves in prison, county jail, wherever you're at, locked up, that's what we do. We use people. Because the main reason why any man would find himself in prison is because he's selfish. And so selfish people use others. We objectify people. When I was at home for those first 5 years, our relationship was like, we were like 2 kids trying to play house.
Because he was supposed to be meeting all of my needs.
No, she was supposed to meet all my needs.
No, see, he has it all wrong.
Well, the saying is, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. And I grew up with that mentality.
And so did I. I was thinking everything he has now should be mine. His whole purpose in living, my whole reason for being attracted to him is so that he could meet all of my needs and take care of all of my problems.
So clearly we were not friends. We were using each other for what's in it for me. The whole agenda of our relationship was based upon my needs, my wants, and my desires. And it really never included her. She was just an object for me to get everything I wanted.
And so that was our perfect setting for a disaster. And so that's
the perfect storm.
That's right, which is exactly what we were living. So when Ron went to prison, we realized that we needed the foundation of friendship because we had both been super selfish, we had been self-centered, we'd been egotistical and fearful. And see, fear will keep you from really having a true friendship. Because what fear does is fear says, oh, don't let your guard down. Don't let them in because they're going to hurt you.
And I tell you, what my fear of Kathy is knowing really who I wasn't. And so I would constantly put on this facade. Oh, I know what a man is. A man is one who works and brings the money home. I'm the breadwinner. But the truth is, I didn't know how to hold a job down. I would go from job to job. Within a month, I'd have 3 jobs and fired from all of them. Because I didn't know how to be a friend to us, let alone take that same principle and to be a friend to my employer or to the employees that I was working with. And so every area of my life was chaos.
So you were your worst enemy, every place you were. And I was my own worst enemy and probably Ron's worst enemy too. And so we go into relationships and we're looking at the relationship as what can I get for me? Then that's a whole setup for failure. When we talked about a little bit about fear coming in and fear of rejection, that will keep friendship from forming. Fear of being hurt, that keeps friendship from really being formed and developed.
Fear of really letting you in, to know my hurts, to know my wants or my dreams, my ambitions. I know I had them when we were first together. I know I wanted to have the picket fence and the big white house and all these things growing up and coming together with you. But I didn't know how to acquire those things. I didn't know how to activate the principle of friendship to share with you.
We had no understanding that there was much more to a relationship than just a physical relationship. And so we based our entire relationship around a physical attraction. And so we were either fighting and having all kinds of
Or
arguments.
making wonderful love.
That's right.
I'll
We're
tell
either
ya.
lovers or worst enemies.
Yeah.
And so the prison experience really taught us what it meant to really build a friendship, a place where there was joy, even at conversations and fun. And those things are things that build a lifetime together.
Let me add something about the visits, and Kathy and I were becoming friends in visits. One of the things I had to reinvent is how do you write a letter? Friends can communicate, but if you don't know how to communicate and you don't know how to express yourself, and guys in prison, what do? We write letters. But
Because with your friends, you're real. I mean, think about it. If you're having to really choose your words carefully in talking to your significant other, there's not really a solid foundation of friendship. Because when you're thinking really hard, okay, now how am I going to say this? And how am I going to explain this to them? That's manipulation.
Yeah.
That's not friendship. Friends, hey, how's it going?
How's
and
it
you
going?
you just share openly. You don't even think about what you're going to say because your guards are down.
That's right. When writing letters to you at the beginning of my incarceration, first of all, you couldn't even read my handwriting, right? Because I just never had a great penmanship. But really, I wanted you to be able to read my letters. So I had to stop. And you know what? I want to care enough for Kathy that I'm going to reteach myself and practice again penmanship. Take my time writing a letter. Take my time that you can read every letter that I make, and so that you could hear and see my heart. And this is a place, now I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to become vulnerable, but I want you to know that I want to be real with you. And so I'm not going to write a line. I'm not going to manipulate or ask for anything. I just want to get to know you, and I want you to get to know me.
And so friendship, oftentimes people say, well, they don't really know who that person is, or they don't know how that person is. And actually, the truth is that friendship knows the faults and flaws of your friends, of the people that you're building relationship with. But those things actually cause you to care more about them because they're real and they're raw. And so as we come back, we're going to share more with you about friendship, about what it does mean, and about how to activate it in your life.
Completion of TYRO Dads is just the beginning of the opportunities available to you. As a TYRO Dad, you will be eligible to participate in workforce strengthening services to help prepare you for employment and open the doors to economic stability for you and your family. The Workforce Strengthening Program starts with job ethics training. Once completed, you may be eligible to receive training to acquire your commercial driver's license while still inside prison. If getting a CDL is not for you, then there is also a welding training program you may be eligible for. As more programs are being added, there really is something for almost everyone.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Kathy Tiarina. Now, the thing about friendship, we've been talking about friendship today, is that many people don't even realize what the real definition of friendship is.
Well, friendship is building lasting bonds through fun and laughter, sharing of life struggles and victories while committing to be loyal. So now that you know the definition of the word friendship, what does that mean? What does it look like in action?
Because most of the time when we hear the word friendship, we want to focus in on the committing, not the committing to be loyal part, the committing to enjoying life's victories together.
Not the struggles.
Not the struggles. And not being loyal through the struggles. And that's the part that really solidifies friendship. And so if we really want to build friendship, then we really need to look at our relationship and say, okay, am I only happy? Am I only committed? Am I only investing in this relationship when things are going good and when I'm getting what I want? Or am I equally investing? Am I equally involved in this relationship, even in the midst of struggles?
In prison, friendship is a really taboo word. We don't even use that word lightly in prison because, you might be living in an environment of 1,500 men, but you're only talking to 2, maybe 3 guys for real in this environment. And even those 2 or 3 guys, are they really your friends? Because, you look at each other, you don't know each other. You met in an environment where it's you got your murderers, your rapists, your bank robbers, and drug dealers in this environment. And so can you really let your hair down and trust somebody that you're going to let them in your family? You're going to let them in your photo album? Are you going to let them know your first name? Because even in prison, the only thing a man has is his last name. And so, or a nickname. And we only let you know our last name because it might be written on our shirt. But so friendship is a commodity that if you find a true friend in prison and somebody that is loyal and that has your back, that somebody that is going to help you become a better person, you hold on to that and you cherish that relationship and that friendship. And then the hard thing about it is the guys who don't know how to be a true friend, that are outside looking in, start to look at it in a perverseness way. And when they see true friendship, they think it's something ugly, and they tarnish it with their own wicked imaginations because they don't know how to be true friends themselves. So they want to call what is friendship something else that it is not. And that's sad, because in order to be a friend to somebody, you got to know how to be a friend to yourself.
And in this environment called prison, one of the things that we see over and over again is that men have so many guards up while they're in prison. And so those guards that they have, all those walls, they say, I'm not even going to try to make any friends in here. Well, then now they can't even begin to build the relationships and friendships on the outside because they've taught themselves to be numb, and they've taught themselves to become more and more narcissistic. And so in true friendship, there's no place for narcissism, because if it's all about you, nobody wants to have a friend like that.
We've thrown around the word narcissist for a little while now through our episodes. And so I want to really give you guys a glimpse of what a narcissist looks like and where this word came from. It's a story of Greek mythology or something like that, where this guy was so infatuated with the way he looked. It's all about him. He was so selfish that one day he looked down into this pool of water and he seen his reflection. And he was so enthralled and he fell so in love with what he looked like that he forgot to eat. He forgot to get up. That as he looked at himself and he couldn't stop looking at himself, guess what happened to him? He died. He died alone. And that's what happens to people who are selfish, who are narcissists. They die alone. And there isn't a man in prison, and I'm telling you the truth, guys, there isn't a man in that environment who wants to die alone. And that's a sad state, because I knew men who, when they died in prison, there was nobody to come and get their body. They're buried in the backyard, the prison penitentiary, because they died alone.
So if you want to be a friend, if you want to have a friend, then you need to begin to do things different in your life, to really care about other people and invest in other people's lives. So as we come back from this break, we're going to share with you more about how you can invest in your family's life and really build that friendship. Stay tuned.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Hi, welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Kathy Tiarina. And today we're talking about the first of the High Five principles from our book, High Five, Love Never Fails. And that first principle is friendship.
Friendship is scary. I'm going to just put it out there just like it is, because being a true friend means that you're going to leave yourself wide open.
Take risks.
And I'm going to tell you guys are already risk takers. You're hustlers, you're entrepreneurs, and you don't even know it. But can you take that principle of being a risk taker and taking a risk on somebody who you would let in your life to let them know the real you and hope that they don't hurt you?
I remember when we made this choice of really becoming friends. And so we want to share with you some stories, and we want to share with you the principles that we applied to our relationship that helped us become stronger and become best friends.
When I first went to prison, it was all about me, right? I didn't grow up till later in prison, but the phone calls consisted of, have you talked to the lawyer? Mm-hmm. Can you send me some money? Did you get my food box? Did you talk to the lawyer? Can you send me some money? What did the lawyer say? Did you get the letter? Did you do all this? I mean, everything was about who?
You.
It was about me. Kathy would come to see me on a visit, and the first thing I would ask, what did the lawyer say?
That's
right?
right.
I mean, it was like clockwork. And then one day,
one day I went to go see Ron, and I sat down, and Ron came out, and he looked me straight in the eye, and he says, how are you? Kathy, I haven't asked you, how are you doing? How are the boys doing? How is this affecting you? Tell me how you're feeling. And I was completely shocked. I just was like, whoa. And I remember that was the very first moment that he actually seemed to care about me and wanted something for me that even might cost him something, because he went on to say, if this is too difficult for you and is creating too much pain in your life, I will release you because I love you. And I looked at him and I thought, wow, he's actually seeing this situation from my vantage point. And that was the beginning of building our fresh friendship. But that was also a point that I'll never forget, because it solidified in me, you know what? I love him. And this is somebody that I want to build a lifetime together, even though that for the next 15 years or however long, we may be separated by these walls.
Another ingredient of friendship is remembering happy memories. One of the things that Kathy and I would practice, and we got 15 minutes, and having to practice this, because in the back of my mind, I told myself, I'm not going to ask her for money this entire conversation in 15 minutes. I'm not going to ask her what the lawyer said. And I literally had to be conscious of this and tell myself, I'm not going to do it. But what I would do is I would say, let's remember a happy moment in our lives before coming to prison. Let's relive something, and let's talk about that.
So we would talk about teaching each other how to dance. We talked about the first time we met, times that we got caught in the rain. I mean, anything that, even if that at the moment it wasn't happy when it occurred, you realize that's kind of crazy about memories. In the moments, maybe it doesn't feel good, but later on it's like a great memory.
It's a great memory that you laugh at,
right?
And you can laugh at that situation together.
And something else that we began to do in the midst of all of this pain of incarceration is that we gave ourselves permission to be happy in the moment, because we realized that you couldn't live your whole life miserable and unhappy and then at the end, and they went on happily ever after. It doesn't work that way. There has to be happiness and joy interwoven through your entire story.
And in this journey, even while you're incarcerated, you need happiness interwoven in that particular moment of your life. Remember, this is not a lifestyle. This is an event in your life that there's going to be another chapter. But if you can get what you need to get out of this experience, you can go on to the next chapter.
So gentlemen, you have to give your family, you have to give your wife or your lady permission to be happy and to pursue happiness and to thrive even though you're incarcerated. And I had to give Ron permission to thrive even though he was incarcerated. Because if we couldn't thrive and we couldn't find those moments of joy, then we were going to be miserable, and we were going to create that as our experience in our relationship.
I am so glad that we took the time to really talk about these things while we were in prison, so that we could practice them not only in there, but when we got out. And it made the transition of coming home and being friends. We weren't friends when I got out of prison. We were already friends when I was in prison.
So as we come back, we're going to take a short break. And as we come back, we're going to talk about how you can help your children learn the very important principle of friendship.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you are not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Kathy Tiarina's own personal experience with incarceration. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You will be prepared to overcome the obstacles of your incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You'll be one of the honored. A man worth following.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Hi, welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Kathy TYRO. And today we're talking about friendship and how to invest in your family in order to make your family a forever family.
Investing in our children is powerful. You know, we're taught in prison to live in a box. We're raised up in prison to always have something in effect holding us down. Mm-hmm. We're in prison, and prison is meant to isolate you and literally put you in a box. You live in a 2.4 locker box. All your material that you have must fit inside this locker box. Anything that does not fit in this box is considered contraband. So what happens is with dads, they take this mentality and we take it to the visit. And this is really what's detrimental to creating a healthy family. And we do this unknowingly, dads. We don't mean to do this, but we do it. You know, we don't give permission to our children when they're at a visit to laugh, to be free.
To be kids.
To be kids.
I remember when Ron first went to prison and we went to the prison visiting rooms, that everything was, just sit in the chair and, just be quiet, And then if they were excited about something, then he was always, well, don't you miss me? Well, don't you wish I was there? You're going to do that without me? I thought that was something we were going to do together. And then when the change happened, when Ron decided to become a friend, then it was, go do that. Go experience that. I want that for you.
Now, we're not talking about being a homie or being, the buddy. I'm not talking about a father, his friendship role, the dad's role as a friendship to his sons or daughters. I'm not their buddy. They already have a lot of them, but I want to be that friend that they can count on that, not like a mentor, but their father, a father and friend. And so I would encourage them to, if they wanted to do something, I'm their biggest cheerleader. I want to be the biggest fan base that they could ever imagine. That's my role.
And finding opportunities in prison visits to engage and play so that we could bond. And Ron, you were great at that. I remember, and this was before, now there's probably games or there's cards or there's things that they can do. But when you were in prison, there wasn't anything. And so we had to cut up napkins and tear them up and make a deck of cards or make a chessboard.
I remember teaching Blake and Brandon how to play chess in a prison visit room. And literally we would go to the bathroom and ask the guard if it's okay if we took the brown paper towels. So we would take a sheet and we would draw the chessboard on the paper towel, and then we would take white and brown, the white napkin and the white paper towel or the brown paper towel, and we would develop the rooks, the pawns, the bishops, the knights, and literally we learned how to play chess in prison. And today, my boys, we all play chess together, but
and
that was
I remember
a moment.
also, Brandon, our youngest son, he played drums in a band and he had all kinds of fun musically. He was very musically inclined, but he learned that in a prison visiting room. Ron took 2 pencils and taught him different drum licks in a prison visiting room, softly on napkins in a cup. So he had to watch it, and Ron would make the noise, clicking noise with his tongue, and then Brandon would get to go home and emulate that. And so those are precious moments that Ron got to invest in Blake and Brandon and building a friendship, which means common interests, building a place where they would be able to go back in those moments and say, wow, we have a trail of memories of doing things with our dad, even through those years.
The simplest thing you can do on a visit with your kids is tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe is as simple as the game that is. It builds memories and it builds a bond with your children. Reading books, that's a huge opportunity and a moment that you can do in a prison visit room. But Dad, the bottom line is, we're not asking you to be their buddies. We're asking you to be a true friend, a true father to them. And there's going to be times when you're going to be able to correct them in a manner that is productive and is healthy, even from prison.
And so if you do your time and the visits are all about you, what you need and your tough circumstance and all about, well, when I get home, I'm going to do this, do that, you are building more and more distance from your children and you are creating a prison for them. And so if you really, really want to keep them from following in these footsteps, then you need to be investing them in a way that builds joy so that when they see you, they feel that bond and that connection that's only built through spending time and memories together.
So writing letters, spending a couple minutes, sharing the phone call with them. And remember, dads, I mean, and I can say this today, and it's one of those things, a gut-wrenching regret that we have in our life. I remember when my oldest boy got his first job, and I wasn't a friend to him in that time because I asked him to send me money. He said, "Dad, I got a job." The first thing I said, "Wow, here comes, maybe I can get $20 out of Blake." And that wasn't a friend. And to this day, I still, I wish I wouldn't have done that. But that's where I was at that time and thinking, and in my thinking, in a narcissistic lifestyle, thinking it's all about me. But dads, there's always time. There is always time to be a friend to your kids, to really instill in them this character of, let me show you sons, let me show you daughters what a true friend looks like.
And this is the only relationship where you want everything for them and nothing from them as their parent. Every child in their life needs somebody that wants everything for them and nothing from them. And that's your job. So that creates that safety, that love, and that opportunity to thrive in spite of the circumstance. So today, as we close our show, we just want to encourage you to find every opportunity to take advantage of every moment to input and invest in your children's life by building those memories in friendship.
So again, thank you for allowing us to join you on this journey. And until next time, always remember, we are rooting for you.
I am a man of honor.
I am a man of integrity.
I am a man of faith. I am the antidote.
I am a man of discipline. I am a leader.
I am strong.
I am a man worth following.
I am a TYRO.